Now I see myself. Good morning. My name is Thomas Oliver, and I use he, him pronouns. I serve as one of your Board of Trustees members. I'm the treasurer, and I'm happy to welcome all of you to the sanctuary and to Tahoma Unitarian Universalist congregation. This is sort of a surprise for me. I didn't realize I was going to be the board announcer. And when somebody asked me if I could do it, I said, I suppose I can be the board announcer. So I will be as bored as I can be. Nope, doesn't work. Unitarian Universalists are a community of people who hold many beliefs, many origins, identities, sexualities, and genders. We uphold and celebrate the inherent dignity of every person, which means you are welcome just as you are. Love is the power that holds us together as we gather in community to seek life's deeper meanings and to celebrate the diversity of all living things. We are all growing with and learning from one another. If you are here for the first time, we bid you a special welcome. After the service, I'll be in the sanctuary right over in that area, although I tend to wander. I'm a bit of a social butterfly. If you want to come and speak to me wherever I am, try to stay over there for a little bit. To answer any questions about Unitarian Universalism or our congregation, or if you have questions about how to become involved in our community, just ask. I also encourage you to explore our website, tahomauu.com. At that website, you can sign up for our weekly e-news. That includes information about the important and fun events going on in congregational life and how you can participate. Speaking of which, there are several announcements. One is we're looking for people to fill 3 positions. We need a new board member. One of the members of the board is rolling off after their term, and we need a new one. We need somebody for our endowment committee, and we need somebody for our nominating committee. Finally, very importantly, June 14th is our congregational meeting. We want as many of our members to be here as possible so that we can make sure that we have a quorum so that we can vote in our new budget and start off our new year. I also have some announcements from a couple of other people, and I'm going to start with the youths.
Good morning. This is it's part of the youth group against, yeah. Over the past few months, we've been learning about social justice in the youth group and talking about ways we can make a difference. One topic that really stood out to us was immigration detention and what life can be like for people who are held in those detention centers. As we learn more, we were surprised of some of the challenges people face, including being separated from families and feeling isolated from their communities. We also learned about advocates for immigrants in Detention Northwest, and an organization that helps that supports people in detention through friendships, advocacy, and connection. we wanted to do something to help, so we're raising money to support their work through the end of the June. The donations will collect, will help them continue providing support and care to the people who will be going through a very difficult time. We're grateful to be part of the community that cares about justice and comparison. Thank you for supporting in this effort and for the help that you are putting in our values in this action. Thank you. There's a bin. I'll be putting it by the coffee table over there. Thank you.
Our presenter today also has an announcement. Patty?
Good morning. Yes, I'm going to do that announcement again. I am the director of the gallery space. This show will be coming down this week, possibly this afternoon. So if you are interested in any of the art, you need to speak up immediately after the service. I will be here. Thank you.
Margot, are you here? Before Margot speaks, you can come up. You can come up. We could share space. If you're interested in being a board member or on the endowment committee or on the nominating committee, please see Ben over here. He's currently our chair, and he will be collecting your contact information if you're interested.
Okay, I'm Margot Reinhardt. I am the minister here, but I am not giving the sermon this morning. Patty is doing that. I'm not normally here on the fifth Sunday of the month, but it was important to be here today. We had muffins with Margot downstairs, which was a really just casual conversation. I also wanted to be here to remind you that in 2 weeks, it is flower communion. So what that means is we need to bring flowers, and then our kids will help us exchange them. Our kids who are willing will help us exchange them. But flower communion is an important ceremony in Unitarian Universalism. It goes back to 1923 in Czechoslovakia. And it's just a very special time, but you need to bring a flower or bring a few extra, because there'll always be new people. There'll be people who didn't hear and forget like me. It can be a wildflowers that you find in a ditch, or it can be from your yard or from wherever you find them. I also want to say, not related to flower communion, we have a mystery. We found a license plate over here on the side of the building after church was over last Sunday. So you might want to check and make sure both license plates are on your car. And if not, we have it stashed for you. We think it belongs to a truck. All right, that's my announcements.
Okay. Oh, gracious. So many announcements. So you're invited to join us for social hour over here with coffee and goodies immediately following the service. For those of you who are newer to our community, we have red mugs, which hold a little bit more coffee, and we'll encourage people like me to come and talk to you. If you are new and you want to be shy, pick up a white mug. If you are someone who would benefit from a large print hymnal or hearing assistance device, they are available at the back of the sanctuary. We want to remind everyone that our services are available through Zoom and posted to YouTube, which means if you come up front, your image may appear on those venues. Hi. As we begin our service in this beautiful place called Tahoma by local indigenous tribes and nations, I acknowledge that we meet today on the land of the Coast Salish people, including the Puyallup tribal nation, land from which they were forcibly displaced. I honor the resiliency of Indigenous people and stand with them as they continue to protect their culture, land, and water and fight for their visibility, sovereignty, and very existence. Lastly, please set your electronic devices on worship mode. Can we wait? I'm sorry, there's just been a lot of announcements. Just a moment. Actually, I think right now would be okay. Why not?
Sorry, excuse my voice. I'm Fran McLaughlin. Chris Kaufman isn't here today. On the June 28th, we have the church picnic at his wonderful estate on Gravelly Lake. There's barbecue, there's swimming. It's always a wonderful time. We do need more volunteers to help prepare and set up and so on. So next Sunday, after the service, we are having a planning meeting at his place in Lakewood, and I can give you the address later. But it's at 1 o'clock next Sunday, and all this is in the e-news. Thank you.
Okay. Lastly, let's exhale deeply and settle ourselves into this holy moment of sharing and receiving. Now, let us join together in worship.
Good morning. My name's Bob Hayes. I am your celebrant this morning. Our opening words are a poem by my wife, our speaker today, Patty McPhee. Do you have a friend like mine? Sometimes it's very hard to listen to them. They say things that make me angry. They say things that I think are wrong. But I've learned to listen long. Because most often the words they are saying are not the words they are meaning. Sometimes they're saying things for reasons I don't understand. And sometimes they're right and I'm wrong. I would never have known that had I not listened long. For our chalice lighter this morning, I have invited up Sheila Wybrow for a couple of reasons. First, she's been around here since 1841. Well, maybe it was a couple of years after that. And she's also, besides a song leader and many other things that she does here, part of the worship associate group. There's a group of us that help put these sermons and Sundays together. And I wanted you to be aware that there's a bunch of people that make this happen every Sunday. And should you be interested in being part of that process, we are always looking for people that like to help make this place even better. And with that, I will let Sheila light our chalice as the words come up on the screen. Words. We light this chalice in deep respect for the mystery and the holiness of life, in honor and gratitude for those that have gone before, with love and compassion for those who dwell among us, and with hope and faith for the generations to come. And now is our first sermon, our opening hymn, number 1012, When I Am Frightened. Please stand with spirit or a physical ability and join us.
Will you Okay, good morning. Can I ask, before I ask all the young people to come up, for everyone who has a donation for our local food bank, to hold them up so the young children can come get them? Oh, yeah. And for those of you that are new here, this is something we do every week for the children, so the children can get involved in social justice. And it's, as you can see, they love doing it. It seems to be a competition as to who can gather the most. Is that everything? Anybody? Oh, you got some more? Okay. All right. Okay, well, now I will officially invite the young people to come up, those who are young and young at heart, as we say. I know we have more. You know, this is only about half our class because our other half is taking OWL classes right now. Yeah, right? So normally like twice as many people. Have y'all noticed we have more and more kids show up? Yeah, there's been a lot of us, huh? You know today that we're welcoming new members? How many? Oh, okay. Well, to give you more accurate number, when I got here, there was 10 on the books, and now there's 30 on the books. No, 30, 30. Yeah. Okay. So I have some questions for you. Okay. Do y'all know that we are welcoming new members here today? Maybe. So we are, and I would like us to welcome the new kids. So I have some questions for you. One of them is, how long have you been coming to this church?
I don't know.
I bet you it's the same amount of time. Charles, what about you?
Around 3 years, I don't quite know.
3 years. Well, you don't know. I don't know. Your family's been coming here a long time. Did you know there are some families that have been coming here to this very building for 40 years? What the is right? You did not, yeah. I learned that pretty recently, actually. That is a crazy amount. 40 years in this building alone. You can imagine people have been coming here since we were in the old building. Oh, yeah, whole families, whole generations. Because doesn't your grandma come here? Yeah, and your mom, and then you. That's 3 generations. Isn't that cool? Okay. And sometimes your dad, that's right. So I have one more question, because we have a wonderful story that Miss Patty has picked out for us. What is your favorite UU value that you learn every week? A UU value. Thinking hard?
Love.
Love, which is at the center of all our values. It's a great one. You don't. You're going to copycat love? Okay. You don't know? It's okay. There's a lot of them, huh? Okay, that's all good. Okay. They are on your walls downstairs, yes. Love is definitely one of them. I'll give you a hint. You do this value every time you gather all these donations. Justice, good job. Yes, that's a great one. Okay. I will let us watch our little video, our little story that Miss Patty has picked out for us, okay?
Trying, written by Kobe Yamada, illustrated by Elise First. How do you do that? I didn't realize I had said it out loud, but the sculptor looked over and replied, "You simply do it." Oh no, I could never do that. How do you know? He asked. I just know. Confused, I walked away. He must be joking, I thought. But as I left, I couldn't help wondering what it would be like to create something so incredible. When I returned, the sculptor looked over at me and asked, "How is your sculpture coming along?" "I'm just here to watch." "The best way to give your talents an opportunity is to try," he responded. "I'd rather just watch. I can't mess things up if I just watch." "Ah, yes," he nodded. "If you do nothing, it feels safe, but everything stays the same. If you do nothing, there is less to experience, less to love, and less to learn. The fear of failing is the scariest part, and it stops most people from starting. The only way to get to where you want to go is to take a step in that direction. And the best way to do that is to begin." It was all I could think about. Even as I slept, I dreamt of creating beautiful things. I was excited to get started. But as I was working, I realized that something was wrong. With every strike, I felt a little more deflated. With every blow, my disappointment grew. This was not turning out the way I had imagined. Why did I think I could do it? Why had I let myself care about this so much? The next time I saw the sculptor, he asked about my work. I told him it was no good and that I had quit. "Why would you do that?" he asked. "Because it feels awful to want something so badly and then just be disappointed." "Yes," the sculptor replied. "Disappointment hurts. But failure is temporary and in many ways necessary. It shows us how something can't be done, which means we are a little closer to finding out how it can. When you first tried to walk, you fell, but you picked yourself up and tried again. You were willing to fail over and over and over, and that is why you succeeded. How do I know this? You are standing in front of me now." I had tried, and I had failed. Now he was asking me to try again? What good would that do? I had already proven I couldn't do it. But if I was honest, I wanted to believe I could. So even though I worried that I wasn't good enough, I decided to try again. I worked and worked, then worked some more. And while I could see it was a little better, it still wasn't at all what I had wanted it to be. I stormed up to the sculptor. "See, I told you I wasn't any good, and this proves it. Are you happy now?" "Yes," he replied. "I'm happy. It is good to see you sculpting." "But it's terrible. I don't even know what I'm making anymore." "You're making progress," he explained. "I see talents emerging. I see risks being taken. I see courage. I see caring. I see perseverance. Yes, I see much progress indeed. And I hope you will keep trying." I tried again, and again, and again. As I stepped back and looked at my work, I had to admit, I wished I was better. I went to talk to the sculptor, and he asked me to go for a walk with him. He said, "I know it can be hard when things don't turn out as you had hoped, but be proud of your failures. I know I am. Every one of them. I can't imagine you ever failing." He laughed. "More times than I can count. But each time you fail, you get a little smarter, a little braver, a little stronger. The truth is, we are all failures. The dreamers, the doers, the creators. Being a failure means you loved something. You cared. It means you stepped forward. You didn't hold back. You tried. That is why I brought you here." He gestured to the statues around him. "These are my friends. These are my failures. And I'm grateful for every one of them because they helped me become who I am today." "I will tell you a secret," the sculptor confided. "I am now much closer to the end of my life than the beginning. And time passes whether we have the courage to do something good and worthwhile or we don't." It's been years since he's been gone. I will always treasure the time I spent with him, and I will never forget our conversations or what he taught me. When we make it safe to fail, we make it safe to succeed. How do I do that? The end. Hope you enjoyed this story read by me, Star. Until next time, keep reading.
As you go, as you go, may your heart at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life, we hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go.
And here's the other really important reason I'm here on a day I'm not in the pulpit. It is the new member ceremony, and we have 5 new members to recognize today. So if our new members will come up, Lauren Earhart, Stormy Love, Amanda Davis, Chris Apple, and Ken Apple, and our board president.
Welcome, new members of Tahoma Unitarian Universalist Congregation. You are being recognized today for the commitment you have made by joining this congregation. We are comprised of individual members like you, and with this act, you are invited into full participation in this congregation.
Each of you brings unique gifts and experiences and desires that we welcome into this community as you are able to share them. We hope you will find a place that is welcoming in friendship, challenging to you in spiritual growth, and nurturing in service. In turn, we recognize the commitment you are making as a statement of your intention to take an active part in this congregation, to support its programs and to share in the mission and values of Unitarian Universalism.
We will now formally welcome these new members. Will the existing members please rise as you are able and join me in reading the text of the welcome printed on the insert in your order of service. We, the members of the Tahoma Unitarian Universalist congregation, welcome you. We commit ourselves to be open to the gifts you bring and to share our gifts with you. Together, may we work, play, worship, and celebrate in mutual love and respect. Together, may we realize our shared aspirations of mind, heart, and spirit. New members of the Tahoma Unitarian Universalist congregation, do you hereby accept membership in this congregation as a gift and responsibility?
This moment in time marks not an end, but a beginning of a new relationship in the lives of everyone here. Every day, the beginning of a new opportunity in the lives of this religious community to live its promise to the world and to share its values. You are making a courageous act, and we wish you our deepest blessings in the days ahead with us. Our gift to you this morning is a pin. And this is given as a symbol of commitment to one another and our larger faith. May you find blessings and wholeness on your journey, and may our community be enriched by your presence. Thank you. Welcome. And let me also, as they are walking back to find their seats, let me also say shamelessly that this is an opportunity available to all of you.
Good morning. My name is Megan Brassey, and I am your chat chaplain today. The offering we take each Sunday is an opportunity to recommit to this place and to these people. It is as much a ritual as singing together, lighting our chalice, or reciting our unison affirmation. It is a reminder of that form of love we call generosity. It is how we show that we believe it is important to worship together, to help our community, and to say yes to the values of our faith. I invite folks in the sanctuary to give using the baskets being passed around by the ushers, and for folks online or in the sanctuary to give online. There are also baskets at the front for our safe parking and trans relocation.
Thank you, Marianne. If you'll join me on the words on the screen in dedicating the donation. We dedicate ourselves and our offerings to the work of this congregation, weaving a tapestry of love we call community, both within and beyond these walls. Now we have our next hymn, 1010, We Give Thanks. Sheila.
I wrote that poem, A Friend Like Mine, after having had one of those experiences that we've all had, you know, where you had a conversation with a friend, you thought you knew how they felt about something and that you were in agreement on everything. And then you found out not quite everything. Did you ever shut down, kind of stop listening, step back a ways? I know I have. That was one of the reasons that I wrote that poem. I write poems to put in solid form what I'm thinking about and what I want to remember. And I want to talk about remembering as well, because that's what storytelling is about. It's about making sure that you remember what you promised yourself you would not forget. Stories are humans' superpower. Now, I've had people kind of look at me. Superpower has a very charged meaning in our culture these days. And yet, our ability to pass on knowledge, that's a superpower that is based in storytelling. Go. There was even storytelling in math at one time. I don't know, are they doing story problems anymore? Stories allow us, how come this isn't like moving? Allow us to connect with other people in a way that we really don't get in any other form. What do you do when you get together with an old friend? If you haven't seen them for a while, it's all about hearing their stories and telling your own. Stories are, there we go. Okay. I love it when technology doesn't tech, when it just sort of sits there and looks at it and goes, okay, what next? Remember, there's always two sides to a story, and there's two sides to storytelling. There's the teller and the listener. And each one of those positions in that telling of the tale is important. In other words, you're just as important to me as I may be or may not be to you, I hope I have something for you to munch on through this week. Allowing yourself to hear another person's story not only enriches your life, but it enriches theirs. Every time you tell a story, you're reliving it. You're building your own history, and you're reminding yourself of your own value and values, that which you strive for. Think about it. What do the teachers do in your classrooms? They tell stories. They remind children why they even want to learn something. I remember as a child, I always wanted to learn because I loved the stories. I loved the stories my family told time after time after time until it became my story. In that, I'm going to share with you a story. Well, this one is my story, my personal story. This takes place when I was about 7 or 8 years old, and it involves my favorite person in the world, my aunt. Aunt Pat had gotten juvenile rheumatoid arthritis at the age of about 11 or 12 and had spent her entire life in a wheelchair. And that day, many, many years ago, she had one of those wheelchairs with the big wheels in the back and the little wheels in the front. It was all made of steel. It was very heavy, even though she was still the size she had been when she was 11 or 12. It had those hard rubber tires with the manual brakes. We were sitting on a hot summer day at the top of a small hill next to the cabin at the family property on Horsehead Bay. It was called Cedar Cove for a reason, because it was completely surrounded by cedars. It was a hot, dusty day, I remember. I can still remember the smell. I imagine we were doing drawings or something because we weren't really paying much attention. And then there was a squeak. I thought it was the family playing horseshoes over in one area, or the badminton being hit in another area. Then there was another squeak. And I looked at her, my little tiny self, as I was well underweight for my age, so I was told. And I realized that she wasn't sitting where she had been sitting only a second ago. She was going down that hill. The brakes were squeaking and keeping her slow, but not very slow. And the dust was billowing up behind her, and I ran after her. And I grabbed a hold of those handlebars and I dug my heels in, and the dust and the cedar boughs skidded under my shoes and filled them with dust. And we skidded down the hill until we came to an abrupt stop. And my aunt said to me through clenched teeth, "Don't let go," because her feet were dangling out over the bay. There we were, teeter-totter like, but I would not let go. I would not let go. I didn't feel brave. I certainly didn't feel very strong. And there were people coming to the rescue. I could hear them, and pulled us both back from the brink. But in that moment, I realized there were things that were more important than me. And I was much more powerful than I ever thought I would be. That story always reminds me of how powerful I am, but how much and how strongly love can help us to build bonds that will exceed our expectations. Our heart may hurt in the end at some point, but the reality is the joy that I felt knowing that I was as helpful to her as she was to me was amazing. Stories build understanding, not necessarily agreement. And this is where we sometimes falter. Create and tell stories to create laughter, because laughter creates a chemical response, so I've been told, that creates stronger memories in your brain. Those passages are much stronger. If you can make someone you disagree with laugh, if they can make you laugh, you have both come closer together than you ever were before. I've been reading Welcome the Unwelcomed by Pema Chodra. And one of the interesting chapters that I've just finished reading and listening to is about laughing at yourself, recognizing, oops, as I said in that closing lines of the poem, you may find out that they're right and you are wrong. The reality is, if we can accept the fact that we don't always hold truths in our minds, that sometimes we hold what feels good, and what is true may not be what feels good. Sometimes truth is somewhere in the middle. And the only time we are ever going to get there is if we listen to each other's stories with an open heart and a willingness to accept both places, to tell the stories and to listen to the stories. Do you have a friend like mine? Sometimes it's hard to listen to them. They say things that may make you angry. They say things that you may be sure are wrong. But I've learned to listen long, because most often the words they're saying are not the words they are meaning. And sometimes they're saying things for reasons I don't understand. And sometimes they're right and I'm wrong. And I would never have known that if I had not listened. If I had not listened long. Somewhere here is the order of service. I know it's here. Okay, fabulous. You want to turn? No, I don't think you get a turn yet. No. Oh, I would really like each of us to think about some of our stories, some of the stories that we tell, especially if we're holding on to them tightly, and think about, what do they mean to us? What are we trying to teach? Because every time you tell that story, whether to yourself or to others, you're teaching. And what would you like to bring into the world? A little laughter is always a good choice. With that, we'll have our closing hymn, 10:53. And yes, I did step all over you there. Sorry about that. It happens.
Yeah.
Please rise in body or spirit.
Anyone ever tell you you were less
Each of you has a story to tell that's valuable, that's worthy of being told, and each of us has an opportunity to listen long. With that, I will turn it over to himself here.
Oh, thank you. We're going to let Patty extinguish the chalice, and the words should magically appear on the screen, letting us do that, as if magic could happen shortly, soon, someday. How could anyone ever? Yeah, anyway. Come on, we can do it. It happened. That was night there too. These we will carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now, if you all rise in body or spirit and join us in our closing. Really nice intention. Oh, ready to go.
I know, I'm sorry.